Welcome to Leo for Leos. This is a channel featuring intuitive tarot readings for the astrological sign of Leos, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I'm a Leo as well, so this is why the channel is called Leo for Leos. Cross-watchers and fellow readers are welcome. However, I do want to give you a heads up that I read the cards as I see them and not always the way it's traditionally done. So let's get started. This is the reading for January 2022. And I'm using the Smith-Waite Tarot deck, the Centennial Edition. Okay. This is for Leo, January 2022. Leo, January 22. Leo, January 2022. We're going to look into business, finance, career, and other areas that may spill into that. All right. Okay. Well, let's start off with the King of Swords, which Leos are going to be looking at the way the world sees them, and also looking at like legal issues, legal matters. There may be even a decision made. Let's find out a little bit more about what the King of Swords is referring to. Ooh. And a whole group of cards kind of flip out on me. And I think that this is a spiral here. Let's see, we've got it just flipped out like this. So this would be the first card. So the Fool, Eight of Wands, the Death card, the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Cups, Ace of Wands, and the Two of Pentacles. Okay, so starting off with the year, it looks like you're feeling like you want to take some risks. Feeling very, very fresh and new, and that's how the new year always should feel like. Okay, we're getting a new start on things again. But then there's also like a list of things that you need to do. And Leos are off and doing them. They're really, there's an emphasis in getting all this stuff done. This is all stuff that you've previously planned in December. So you're off to a good start, and it looks like you have the energy to do it. If not, even if you don't have the energy to do it, the universe is telling you that you have to, because it's presenting things in your path, like it may be opportunities, but also like there are certain actions that you're going to need to take, and Leos will be taking them, willing or not. There's also something of a transformation, and not more of like a transformation of feeling like something is dead to you. It could be a person, it could be a thing that you no longer want to do anymore, but something is like, you're like, I'm done with that. And I'm thinking it may be a course of action that you've been doing, or something that you've been participating in and you just don't see any results in, and you're ready to focus in on the thing that really does work. Again, there's a death of something happening where it's like, nope, not gonna be able to do that anymore. At the same focus, I see that there's an emphasis on travel. Either Leos want to travel or are traveling somewhere. And it feels new. It feels different the way it's being done here. Either you're going to travel or you're making plans to travel. You're saving up for traveling, or actually doing the action of traveling. And then there is also something of an offering, and this is where I see relationships coming in, whether it is a work relationship or a family relationship. It's doing something together with somebody else, but it's almost like a truce. So you may be having feelings about something, but right now there's sort of a truce offering that's happening. Like, okay, if we can get through the next couple of weeks, we're going to, take action on certain things together, either as a family or as a partnership or something. There's a coming together, I think, of yourself and other parties that maybe you wouldn't normally have close relationships with or close encounters with. And of course, in this case, what it is that you're doing is coming from a passionate place. This may be inspiring to you, this whole action of traveling or desiring to travel and getting all this work done. It's inspiring you in a way. A lot of creativity can come from this. And then we see this act of juggling as sort of the last statement, saying that this, January is going to start off with a lot to do, a lot to juggle. It's going to be a little bit of up and down emotionally, But that's life. You've got your ups and downs, and your happy moments and somber moments, and that doesn't mean that it's a bad thing at all. It's just mean this is just like the symbol of life. Just how do you get from one era to the next, or one decade to the next? It's just filled with good times and all bad times, and just like ups and downs of life. That's what that's just really talking about, and trying to make it all work, because that is our job as human beings, is to make it all work somehow. So now I'm going to move on to the King of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles is really talking about taking charge of one's life and really mastering it to a point of like delegating duties to other people if necessary. But the king of you're finding a place of mastery in January, and if you feel like at this point of your life you don't have mastery over it, in January you'll figure out ways to do it. It's really interesting how the human mind starts working on plans, and things start to happen slowly sometimes, but they do. Ooh. Another pentacle. I'm looking at a lot of pentacles here. Money's coming. This is about laying down the legacy that you want to leave behind. And Leos will leave a legacy. They will leave a legacy. Don't worry about that legacy. You will be leaving that legacy. Just continue to do the good work that you're doing. All the good stuff that you can check off on your list that you're doing, keep doing that. If you can't find anything good, start creating something good. It is there. It is definitely there. Start listing out all the things that you want to do and start doing them, because the legacy is if ever most on your mind in January, and you'll be on your way to making that happen. We have this card of having a lot of things in your life that are satisfying, but also wanting that mysterious cup in the sky, that mysterious thing that you don't have yet. And that is not a bad thing. That is actually good. That is driving your motivations right now to keep going harder than ever. January is a great month for ambition. It's a great month for ambition. The Empress. You're working on ideas that you are growing, that you are nurturing, and you're figuring out ways to make these part of your legacy. That's powerful, Leos. I'm getting chills just thinking about that. It's incredible. I love that for us. Because that's at the very heart of where everything is like, how can we get to that legacy? Legacy. What are we leaving behind? What are we, what are we leaving for our family? If we don't have a family, what are we leaving for our name? And there's, no matter what you've done in the past, whether it was a failure or some success, you can always do good. You can always increase the legacy. You can always touch another human being in a beautiful way. And that's coming. That's coming for Leos. You're going to do that thing that you're looking to do. because I mean, the Empress is here, meaning that the talent is there to actually make this work. So yeah, there's a lot of self-nurturing that's going to be needed. The next card in the line really kind of works together. These two, they even look similar. It is really talking about independence and doing things on your own, mastering your own life, mastering the things that are around you in your own home, in your own space. And this is, really quite powerful for the Leo to be able to do that for themselves. Again, part of the legacy is being able to spearhead your own success and have and leave something behind with your name attached to it. Let's see. Ooh, something flew out. Partnerships, relationships. That's so important. And Leos, you're gonna have to really know. It's not easy to know which partnerships are the best to focus on, but really looking into the people that are around you and finding like where that person is the strongest positive influence in your life. Okay, so not everybody is going to be awesome in your life, but there's always a place for people, a place that people can be helpful to you, a place that you can be helpful to other people. And so by working together with your strengths and not your weaknesses, but working together on your strengths can help tie in these relationships. Like perhaps where you're weak at something, someone else is strong in that field, in that area, and together, coming together can really make a difference. This could also speak of meeting new people too. You have to, in order to find relationships that work, you have to be courageous enough to get out there and meet them. There is no mistake why the lion appears in this card. It's about courage too. Relationships take courage. Starting them and having the strength to continue them. So, I mean, if you can get two cards that are the most different, the independent card and then also relying on someone else. We want both. We want both. And in order to be a whole individual, you need to be able to do both. You need to be able to stand on your own, but you also need to be able to communicate well with others and develop relationships that matter. A Page of Wands, maybe also too, like sharing a story with someone. It could be sharing a story with a lot of people. I sometimes equate this card with like leaving a post on a social media profile that's a little bit more, that shares a lot. However, maybe even TMI. But this one looks like it may be about getting together with a friend and sharing a story. So there's something very social about what your plans are for January. The Chariot, you're ready. Ooh, you're ready for this. You're ready to make friends. You're ready to nurture friendships. And part of the legacy, this whole thing but with legacy is also about the way people will feel about you. There's a saying out there, it's not the way, I forgot the name, it's about the way people feel about you is what people will remember. I'm not saying it right, but there is a really cool, anybody knows that, please leave it in the comment if you know that quote. But it is, I think Leos are ready in 2022 to actually like have relationships. There may have even been a period of secluding oneself away from the rest of the world, and now it's time for you to get out there and talk to people and make relationships work, if you've been doing that. Or if not, it's about like figuring out how to master this thing called relationships. What is that? How to master relationships, how to master, how to make people feel special without sacrificing your own individuality and subjugating yourself. Doing it in a way that's authentic and good. Okay. There's also something aggressive about it too, but you're ready. You're ready to start socializing. And it may be like, part of the pandemic blues, So then we're going to go to the Ace of Cups. And Ace of Cups is really talking about emotions. This could be extreme happiness or just feeling a little, feeling emotional. So let's find out, what are you going to be emotional about? This is the Page of Pentacles. Okay, let's do a little spiraling. Okay. All right. So, it looks like Leos have put together a little strategy here, but it comes from an emotional state, okay? And it's not, not just that. This is definitely happiness, and there's going to be some research going on. So you're looking into stuff and getting excited about it. And there is a victory for you in the things that you discover. And it may be like discovering like a new skill. It may be discovering something in which you'll be studying and learning stuff about. And then there's this, the swords really talk about making decisions, and there's one big decision that could be influencing all of this, and part of that is going right into this other one, this next card, which is about, I would say this is about timing and destiny and things that we don't quite understand. And it could also literally be like reaching out to the rest of the world, like doing things on a social network to kind of broaden your base. Let's see what else this will be talking about. Yeah, there's a rush to do something. Wow, whatever it is so powerful that you're like rushing out to do it. Like, oh my God, let's get started right away. Lots of energy. Lots of energy behind this thing. Another time, another card that really talks about time and destiny. This is the right time. This is the right time to do this. We've pulled this up for when these things kind of happen. It's not a bad one. It's like you have to hunker down and do something. And so there may be a feeling like you're feeling trapped into doing this thing, but you have to do it in this time. It's like a deadline. It's not as bad as this picture shows, but yeah, it's like you can't go and do whatever you want. You have to do this specific thing, and you got to do it now. And Page of Swords, lots of swords happening here. It has to be done without a whole lot of overthinking it. It has to be done quickly. It has to be done now, and you can't overthink it. Now let's move on to the next card, which is talking about looking into the past. Now, I don't know. It's kind of like the one that's the strangest one out of all of the cards, so I'm going to have to like find out what that is. Okay. Ooh. Okay. This is heavy duty. Okay. So, this happens. So, there's an aspect of your past, or it could, I always think of nostalgia. There's something about the past and nostalgia that is part of the influence here. Maybe remembering how things used to be. It could even be like how you see a lot of movies nowadays that, kind of look back to the 80s. And, in the 80s there were a lot of movies that were hearkening back to the 50s. So it's like something about the past. It may even be influencing the way you're making money, or the way that you're connecting with other people. It has to do with the past. A lot of the things that maybe you're talking about has to do with like past experiences, education, something to do with the past. Now, the Emperor here is talking about just being more rigid. We talked about that in this one, where it was like, whatever's happening here, this energy is happening now, it's happening fast. Leos are trying to stay, as much as they can, disciplined. The energy is there to be disciplined. The desire, the motivation is there to be disciplined. And it's, you're going to do your best. You're going to have to be strong in order to get to have that happen. And no doubt you have to be strong, because there's a lot of thoughts about, people not doing what they're supposed to be doing, or people doing things to hurt you, and staying up. These are fears. They're not representation. They're not a representation of reality. This is just like the dark side of what's going on in the mind. Right? You know what I mean? You'll have to be strong in order to face these trials that are going to be happening in the mind. Feeling like people are all against you, feeling like you're all alone, and you have all this stuff, decisions to make, and planning for the future and assessing what you have. These are thoughts. These are all thoughts. This is feeling like maybe somebody's stealing something for you. You have to watch your back. You have to protect yourself. This is all good, in my opinion. Like, look, you need to be able to watch your back and make sure nobody's trying to stab you in your back or trying to steal the stuff that you have, right? You've got to do that. Like, if you're looking at any contracts, you got to read this, small print. I've been talking about that for 2022, year of contracts. Do not forget about the small print, the devil's in the details. And assess what you have, assess what you need, assess what's going to be important to you. Now, again, I say this is all in your mind because the last two cards are the most telling, and they're incredible. You come through it. Like, you come through the mental anguish of, like, dealing with, like, oh, I have this big thing I'm working on, and I've got to protect myself, and everybody's against me. But at the same time, there is still hope. This is the card of hope and dreams. And you're still able to access those dreams. You're still able to, you have not lost your sense of hope. There's still hope. And also, you don't need hope because it is time and you're getting the work done. But at the same time, there's an affirmation of happiness at the end of all of this with the sun. This is the card that says yes, you're okay. So yes, Leos, it'll be a very exciting month, the month of January. Go get them tigers, or go get them lions. And, make it happen for yourself. I'm sure that you will be doing fantastic. Just, again, a lot of things may come up psychologically that may not be that pleasant because that's just the way the mind works. And do your best to keep positivity going, not false positivity, but you don't want to be a fool, but you want to be able to give yourself the fighting edge to survive, and that sometimes is like continue to work hard on the things that you're really strong at, and ask for help at the when you need help, at the things that you're not so great at. Outsource those things or learn how to do them. Go take a class. There are many ways to get ahead, but sometimes you need a little help. So that's what I'm getting for our reading this month. I hope that helps my Leo friends out there. I love you so much. Take care and have a wonderful January.